Welcome to Silverstone and welcome to Power Tour, a travelling show of motorsport, 13 rounds across the country, and it includes such championships as the Green Flag British F3 Championship, and coming up later in the programme, round one of the Privilege Insurance British GT Championship as well. For 2001 though, it's a new look to Formula 3, 2 races per meeting, and that means 2 qualifying sessions as well that gave plenty of excitement. Italian driver Gianmaria Bruni is expected to go well, so too Mark Taylor at Manor Motorsport, moving up to Formula 3 for 2001 to take on this man, Takuma Sato, the championship favourite. He stays at Carlin Motorsport. So 2 races, both of 20 minutes, race 1 coming up, pole position to Jamie Spence.
Yeah, it's a great start, but obviously we've set a quite a high standard and we've just got to maintain it. Being a new team, we know there's obviously lots more to come from the car and myself and the team. So, you know, good start, and hopefully the season will carry on as well.
A maiden pole position for new team Duma Racing, run by Pete Perry, the driver Jamie Spence. He's on the outside of the grid here at Silverstone. That's where pole position is for a 1x1 staggered grid. Second fastest in qualifying, the Australian James Courtney, winner of the Formula 4 Championship in this country last year. He drives for Jaguar Racing F3. Third on the grid, the championship favourite Takuma Sato for Carlin Motorsport, reunited with the team from last year. And that, should you be wondering, we are told, translates to come on Sato. The crowd then ready for the first of the 2 20-minute races here at Silverstone, which is about to get underway. Jamie Spence creeping away, he goes now. The lights flick to green. Well, a rather impetuous start by Spence, but he gets away ahead of the rest of them, and we're on board now with the American driver Jeffrey Jones driving for Manor Motorsport, going down towards Cops Corner for the first time, but it's Paul Edwards going right round the outside to take the lead. Fantastic! Paul Edwards, the American driver, he started 4th on the grid, leads as they go to the first corner. On board now with Takuma Sato. Look at this, 3 abreast ahead as Edwards reasserts himself. Spence second, third is James Courtney. Sato looking for a way past at Beckett, can't do it, into Ireland. Sweep right, then left. Great start by the American driver Paul Edwards, and there's somebody clappers over the curve. It was Anthony Davidson further back. Down to Abbey for the first time. Up the inside goes Andy Prio to take 4th place. He runs wide. Prio diving through. He's Edwards' teammate at Alan Docking Racing. Gets ahead of Sato, runs wide, but he's still there, look. Look left, Prio's wheel right alongside Sato as they come down towards Bridge Bend for the first time. It's all action on lap 1 at Silverstone as Takuma Sato, the Japanese driver, swings his way through Priory, and that's somebody going off there. It's James Courtney going all over the curb. Courtney gets back onto the circuit. He cost himself a place though to Sato. He drops to 4th. Edwards leads and pulls away from Spence. Sato next in the line as they file through is Courtney. Then in 5th place is Andy Prio. Up they come to complete lap 1. Tremendous start by Paul Edwards, and here's a replay. Look at Andy Prio going through, locking up there, getting ahead of Sato, and Jeffrey Jones collects the back of Sato's car, rips off his wing. Takuma Sato turning his way now through Ireland, accelerating his way down towards the tight right-hander at Abbey. And he's right on the tail now of Jamie Spence. This is the fight for second place. Up the inside goes Sato, does he? Yes, he thinks about it, he goes for it. Up the inside and they touch. Spence gets knocked sideways, Sato clips him again. They touch wheels once more and Sato loses place. His hand over fist, so too does Jamie Spence. Now, can Spence keep going? It looks as though he stalled the engine in all of that. It wasn't particularly Jamie's fault, but Sato having a rather wild moment there. We're back on board with him now, and that is the end of Jamie Spence's race. It promised so much with pole position, but I'm afraid the Duma Racing Delara, Duma being Swahili for cheetah, is out of the race. They're also in trouble. He's 57, Adam Blair. He's in the scholarship class for 2-year-old cars. It's his first Formula 3 race. He was leading it. He was on class pole, and he's all over the curbs as a very dejected Jamie Spence trudges away. Here's the replay. We're on board with Sato. Up the inside he goes. He goes a bit late. There's not really room. And bang, hits Spence. Round they go. Sato continues, then stuffs it. Takuma Sato back in the race, back up through the gears. That's the German driver, Andre Lotterer, turning into retirement. He was 4th last year in the German Formula 3 Championship, coming to the UK this year. His teammate, though, is going for the lead. Look at this, James Courtney, right with Paul Edwards now, coming down towards Abbey. Edwards' lap times are going up. He's certainly struggling a little bit now, and James Courtney's car looks much, much quicker. I just wonder whether Edwards has stressed his tyres too soon, and Courtney easily goes through on the inside. Great move. This is Courtney's first Formula 3 race, and it could well be the first ever win for Jaguar in single-seater racing. They have an F1 team, this the official junior team if you like, and as they swing through, it is Courtney leading. Another junior team in the championship is this, Prost, and that is Ryan Dalziel trudging away. The engine has died on the car and he is out. We're back on board with Sato now, looking for a way past Anthony Davidson. finds a way past his teammate Davidson, the winner of last year's BRDC McLaren Autosport Young Driver of the Year award. And Sato, remember, is trying to make amends. He's flying. So James Courtney pulling away. This is the scrap for second place now. Edwards looking for a way to hold off his teammate Andy Prio. They turn their way now out of Abbey. They make the run up towards Bridge Bend. And Prio then, the Guernseyman, the former Renault Spider champion, last year drove for Prema Tecna with Renault power. This year for Alan Docking Racing with Mugen Honda power. Edwards swings his way through, and a much tighter line there at Priory gives Prio a little bit more pace, and he goes through on the inside. Tremendous bit of driving. There was barely enough of a gap, and Prio dived up the inside. Certainly, Andy Prio takes no prisoners at Brooklands. Through he goes, gets ahead of Paul Edwards, and Edwards is now still struggling, this time to fend off number one, Derek Hayes, driving for Manor. It can only be that Edwards' tyres are going off, but that was a great move by Prio. He's up to second place now. What can he do about Courtney? As Derek Hayes essays to get past on the inside to take third off Edwards, and he should be able to do it, and he does do it. Through he goes, rounding Cops Corner. Good move by Derek Hayes. That is Matt Gilmore. He is in his second ever F3 race, and he is leading the scholarship class for 2-year-old cars. It's a new team for him and to F3 Performance Racing, and he's going really well here. Edwards swings his way into Copse. Right with him now, Gianmaria Bruni. Right with him, Takuma Sato. We're on board with Sato, looking for a way past the Italian. He's on the outside at Maggots. He's on the inside at Beckett's. Sato should go through, but no, there's contact. He's off, he's off, he's off. Sato spins for the second time. He stalled it as well. There is the Carlin Dallara sitting in the middle of the road. This was supposedly Sato's year. Well, it's not been a great start to it. Here's the replay. Now, let's see, was there contact between the two? Bruni is ahead at Maggots. Sato goes through at Beckett, and yep, a tap in the tail from Bruni. Knocks Sato sideways across the grass, across the curb. The engine stalls. If he can get that fired up, he should be okay to continue as the rest of them come across the line. The Irishman, Michael Keohane, second in the scholarship class. The pit boards from Meritus Racing go out to him. Keohane fending off Mark Mayle, and then Inani Judis, the Brazilian, swings round Cops Corner. A spin there, that's Robbie Kerr going off. Robbie Kerr put a wheel on the grass, he spins off into the gravel bed. Now, is that the end of Robbie's race, or can he get back out again? That was starting the last lap as well, so Robbie Kerr, within sight almost of the checkered flag, has thrown it away. Meantime, James Courtney is on target to win his first F3 race and for the Jaguar Racing F3 squad to give Jaguar its first win in single-seater racing. How about this? Up he comes now. A great drive by James Courtney. He's absolutely dominated this race. He comes across the line now to win by over 4.5 seconds. Fantastic. James Courtney wins the first race of the Green Flag British F3 Championship, with Andy Prio coming home in second place. For third is going to be Derek Hayes, and Matthew Gilmore here is on target to win the scholarship class. He has driven a great race behind him. In the championship class, Dallara is Alex Gurney, son of former Formula 1 racer Dan Gurney, but Gilmore wins the first race in the scholarship class, with Michael Keohane coming home second behind him. So, confirmation of those results. Courtney, Prio, Hayes, Edwards, Bruni and Matt Davis, the top six, with Gilmore top dog in the scholarship class.
It was a bit of a dream race, really. A few guys in front of me had it coming together, and I got past them, then I got past Paul and won, so it was good.
It was good too for Matthew Gilmore.
I didn't really get the start I wanted, but I managed to pick off the drivers as it come, and I've won it. I'm happy, very, very happy.
But the happiest man in the place, James Courtney, celebrating his first F3 win. 3 weeks ago, Team Avanti, run by Nigel Clyde, didn't have a single driver. For race 2 at Silverstone, Matt Davis, driving for them, is on pole.
We haven't really done much work yet, because as we've only done one test day, the car was brand new. I've only done about 100 laps in total, so we didn't really try anything with the car until qualifying, and obviously worked quite well. But the team's really, really good. Good guys working here, and it's going all right at the moment.
So, Matt Davis on pole for race 2. Matthew Gilmore was eager, of course, to add another win to his tally of the day. 20 minutes of racing once again, and as the lights went to green, despite a bit of wheel spin, Davis it was who made the best of starts. Takuma Sato, however, had a point to prove, desperately keen to make amends after his dramas in race 1. Davis led at Copse Corner, despite strong pressure from the Italian driver Gianmaria Bruni, and although most of them got round Copse Corner safely, the scholarship class, rather, let the side down a little, with cars bouncing across the gravel, although everybody survived at least as far as Beckett's. And that was where the next incident would take place. Jamie Spence, having had a miserable first race, had a miserable second one. First, he collided with Alex Gurney, slithered off the circuit, and when he rejoined, he was last but 2. Then he got himself as far as Priory and Spence' his miserable day continued. Off he went, into the gravel and into retirement. From pole position to 2 retirements by the end of the day was far from what Spence had wanted. Up front though, the battle for the lead continued. Further back, Shinzuki Yamazaki, the Japanese driver for Diamond Racing, had this spin coming out of Brooklands. He was able to continue. Matt Davis motored past, although he was being caught by the Italian Gianmaria Bruni. As they swung out of Luffield, the gap was still coming down. But Team Avanti, that had had 1 pole position in its short life but never a win, was still leading. The Fortec Renault-powered Dallara in 2nd place. Turning into Klopp's corner, the battle was raging on between the top 2, with Derek Hayes not that far behind in 3rd. French driver Harold Prima had spun his Diamond Racing Dallara down at Abbey. He was able to rejoin as the leaders went past, with Bruni getting ever closer under braking. With just a handful of corners to go before the checkered flag, back markers were going to be critical. The leaders dived past coming into Brooklands, and with Matt Davis briefly delayed, Bruni was right on his tail. As they went to Luffield for the last time, they were absolutely tied together, but Matt Davis and Nigel Clyde's Team Avanti were on target to win in the green flag British F3 Championship for the first time. 3 cheers for the underdogs. Team Avanti would win, with Fortec Renault coming home 2nd, Matt Davis ahead of Gianmaria Bruni. 3rd at the checkered flag would be Derek Hayes, but Nigel Clyde could start celebrating on the pit wall. In the scholarship class, 2 out of 2 for Matthew Gilmore and Performance Racing, as he came home ahead of Mark Mayle after Michael Keohane, who'd led early on, had spun out of the contest. Team Avanti 1st and 6th, with Martin O'Connell in the 2nd car, completing the leaderboard.
I didn't actually sign a deal with them until Friday evening, so I've only been with them officially for 3 days. But we've done 1 test day, and that went really well. And to win the race is brilliant. As I said, it's a bit of a fairy tale. And hopefully I can secure the rest of the funds, but we'll see.
So fingers crossed that the money is there, but for now, there's some celebrating for Matt Davis to do, joined on the podium by Gianmaria Bruni and by Derek Hayes. A great drive by Matt Davis. Not only does he have a win, he leads the championship, with Derek Hayes and James Courtney and Jimmy Bruni all tying 2nd equal from Andy Prio, and then 6th, Sato and Edwards. Coming up after the break.
Can Fogarty hold it? Kaczynski drops in. Can Fogarty slipstream him on the line? Yes! Yes! It's going to be Fogarty over the line. Fogarty wins.